I play a character named Ben Richards. At the very beginning of the story, Ben is a guy who's trying to provide for his family. His daughter's incredibly sick, and he leaves the house thinking he's going to sign up for a game show to try to just get his, get enough money for some medicine for his daughter, and he signs up for an unwinnable game show, a game show called The Running Man that no one has ever survived. It's a game in which, a reality show where the entire world is hunting one man. And so that kicks off. It's a guy who's just basically going out, who leaves the house just trying to get some medicine for his daughter and ends up on this high-octane adventure just to provide for his family. So, yeah, amazing, amazing story. And I think we all kind of feel like Ben Richards to a degree, a guy who again, an ordinary man against extraordinary odds. Edgar Wright has been one of my favorite filmmakers for as long as I can remember. He's a guy that, I don't know if I've ever seen a filmmaker that has worked as hard as Edgar. I mean, this movie is so in his head and in his heart. He's designed every single frame of it to make sure that it is a nonstop, wall-to-wall action thrill ride. And Edgar is, you rarely see with the action genre, being able to have a filmmaker of his level, and with his brain, with the history of all the different genres he's played in, all the different genres he's won in, to put his brain on the action genre. I mean, this movie is, it's heartfelt, but it's action-packed, but it's funny. It's just nonstop, and it kind of just delivers all the things that makes movies really great. So for me, I'm really proud that, I get to collaborate on a Stephen King book with one of the great filmmakers, Edgar Wright, on one of the great stories. I would say that physically, I knew, as soon as I put down the script, I knew this movie, to shoot it, was going to be war. I knew this was going to be tough. To make an action movie like this, I mean, when the entire world is hunting one man, it's going to be brutal. You know that the amount of explosions and gunfire and near-death experiences that Ben is experiencing every single moment of this. It's life and death stakes, constantly. It's going to be pretty hardcore to shoot, and it was. So physically, I just wanted to build, a physique that could withstand all the abuse that I was going to put it through. And that's really what I did, is I really just said, all right, let's be sprinting every day, and let's be taking, understanding how to almost sustain war, so that I could get through the shoot. And that's what I did. And then mentally, I think for me, anyone that knows me knows I love my family, knows I'm really close with my family. And what this job is imagination. It's if your family, was potentially going to be hurt or die, how far would you be willing to go to save them? And that's what really this story is about. It's about a guy who is signing up for an unwinnable game show in order to show up for his family. And I think that's the emotional place I was in every day of this shoot. I don't know if there was one easy day on this movie. I mean, this movie was really, really tough in every single way because it is life or death circumstances, because we are trying to get all the action in camera. The abuse that you take on a day-to-day basis is pretty extreme. But also, I'm getting to collaborate with, Edgar Wright, who's one of my favorite filmmakers, Josh Brolin, Coleman Domingo, Michael Cera, Lee Pace, William H. Macy. I mean, it is a stacked cast. Everybody delivers. So it is a dream to be out in front of a movie like this, to put on the boots of Ben Richards and to sign up for this ride has been literally a dream come true. It doesn't mean that it's not hard, and it doesn't come with some taxing elements, but I gotta say, across the board, it's when you start this journey and you leave to go to Hollywood and you go, okay, I want to give this job a shot. This is the kind of movie I dreamed of making, so it's as cool as it gets. I gotta ask Edgar, but I think there's probably something, I think they said 170 sets in this movie. It is unbelievable how many sets they built for this thing. This is the first time that we're really honoring what Stephen King sort of intended, but that is a movie where a man is going out into the world, and when the whole world is hunting you, the amount of nooks and crannies of this world that you try to hide in to just survive for 30 days is extreme. On a practical level, it's really, really hard, but it's also really, really fulfilling for audiences because you are never bored. It's wall-to-wall action, and I think, I think it makes it a full cinematic meal. I mean, practically on every level, this is a really tough movie to shoot, but that's why I think that Edgar Wright, a guy who I've never seen a filmmaker work nearly as hard as Edgar, to put something on screen, to not only do right by the original source material, but also just to deliver for audiences. What can audiences expect from The Running Man? I tell you, when you buy a ticket for The Running Man, take your friends, take your family. It is such a fun communal experience because it is wall-to-wall action. It is action-packed, but it's also fun. It's got great heart to it, great performances, great actors. The world is dynamic. It's relevant. It's a story that I think we can all identify with of ordinary people against extraordinary odds taking on, the big bully. It's why you go to the movies.